Good evening, my name is Michelle de Jong, and I'll be presenting the development application process of Barangaroo from the perspective of the developer. Barangaroo is a suburb of Sydney. It's a 22-hectare piece of concrete slab right on Sydney Harbour. It's located in the Sydney CBD on the northwestern edge. In 2003, the state government announced the area would be revamped into a new urban precinct. Barangaroo is currently under construction to return 2.2 kilometres of waterfront to the people of Sydney, to improve quality of life and make new opportunities for its residents, neighbours, visitors and workers through destinations for working, living, shopping, eating, relaxing and celebrating. So the site, it's divided into three parts. We've got North Barangaroo, which is going to be a headland park, complementing the neighbouring headlands of Sydney Harbour. Central Barangaroo, which is going to be a combination of low-rise apartments and parkland, and to the south is South Barangaroo, a business, tourist, retail and residential hub. There are four major stakeholders on the site. The first one is the community. Then there's Lendlease, who are the developer, the Barangaroo Development Authority, the BDA, which act like the client in this situation, and the Minister, or state planning, which acts like the council and makes all the decisions. Lendlease are the chosen developers for Barangaroo South, with the exception of the casino and now hotel, which is managed by Crown. They are in the running and have a high chance of winning the bid and being selected as the developers of Central Barangaroo, and they do the construction documentation side of the Headland Park. Since Barangaroo is a $10 million plus development, all applications are made to the state bypassing council. Applications are made by the developer Lendlease through a Part 3A planning application process. To begin the process, the developer lodges an application with the Director of Planning after getting the okay from the Barangaroo Development Authority. A three-step process follows after the lodgement. First, there's an environmental assessment. Second, an independent hearing and assessment panels, if the Minister requires one, and then public consultations. The Minister chooses what goes into the environmental assessment. Under 3A legislation, he even has the power to approve the project outright. He has all final decision-making authority over applications lodged by private developers. It is interesting to note that this Part 3A legislation changed in 2011, replaced by the State Significant Development and Infrastructure Assessment System. However, Barangaroo remains under the old legislation. Under the new assessment framework, the Minister has less discretion. There is more consultation with Council and more public availability of documents relating to each and every stage of the project. But what does this mean for Lendlease? What would have made the development approval process better? If the Minister had less power, the development approval process can be more effective in the long run, leaving a better outcome for the project. More stakeholders would be involved in the process, with more power given to council and the community. People will generally be more satisfied with the project Lendlease produces, and in turn, Lendlease will be happier as the developer. Also, on the other side of the spectrum, if the Minister had more power, the development process would have been more efficient. Because the Minister is so powerful, there would be less barriers in the process and quicker approval rates. Both scenarios have negative implications though. The Minister having more power would make the process more efficient, but leave a poorer outcome. Also, if the Minister doesn't agree with the application, it can be bad for Lendlease because he is hard to sway and there is no chance of it being approved. The Minister having less power would lead to a better outcome, but a much less efficient process. There would be more and more applications, more drawing amendments, more consultations, more paperwork. And Lendlease are already drowning in applications as it is. Do they really need more? Because Barangaroo is like a suburb, applications were submitted separately for different parts within the site. There was a separate application for the master plan, the concrete plant, contamination, the headland, each and every building on the site, and even divided into components within this, basements, podiums, and towers. And for each building, there were up to 5 or 6 re-applications and iterations submitted. So this adds up to a lot of applications, with each one taking more than 6 months to be approved. Not going through so many design changes would have made the process simpler. There were a lot of objections going back and forth, changes and amendments, and Lend-Lease had a reputation to uphold in producing their best work. As a last point, the process could as well have been made more efficient if the community was more involved in the master planning stage of development, which is at a state level or local government idea, not the developers. Lend-Lease's role is to produce the best outcome, and they do this within the boundaries of the master plan.